Let the political positioning begin. District 3 Supervisor Mike Maggard started the new year with an announcement. He will not seek re-election to the Board of Supervisors. So 2022 will be his final year in office. He's joining us this morning live via Zoom to talk about the decision and what's next. First, Mike, thanks for being here.
Hi, Mike. Good to see you this morning. It's happy to be with you.
You know, we always ask this when a decision like this is announced, when that decision was made. Was it over the holidays? But I look back on my phone to a text message I sent you last July about rumors that you wouldn't be running again. When was the decision made?
You know, Mike, these things don't happen overnight. It's been a long process. I think we kind of put a period on it more recently. I'm aware that people, you know, these seats don't go uncontested. And anybody who wants to be capable to do this kind of job, you have to be thinking ahead. So I know other people have been doing that. But, we've just recently decided for certain we are not doing this. Even as late as yesterday morning, I was talking with my wife and, okay, hon, do we do this or do we not do this? You know, when you do something for so long, it's not so easy to walk away from it. But I'm very comfortable. The county will be in good hands, and good people are at work every day trying to make this a better place to live. So it'll be fine without Mike Maggard in it.
You know, part of your press release said that you wanted to spend more time, obviously, with family, with kids, with grandkids. Anything else contributed to your decision?
No, I'm healthy. You know, I like to ride my bike more. That would be fun. There are things I'll enjoy doing that I don't have time to do now. Yeah, I've kept my business all these years, so I am a very, very busy person, and I'll look forward not to being busy every day, every evening, because I work constantly. So I'm looking for some kind of a change in that regard, but I'll still have my hand in my business, and but just a little less stress and more of an opportunity to go see my kids. Mike, I have wonderful sons who have married wonderful women, but they don't live here. And so one of my sons lives in Missouri and the other lives in Virginia. Okay. And the only way you get to see them is to go, and they can come here from time to time, but we look forward to going there much more often.
In your message, in your email that you sent out, you mentioned projects and initiatives you wanted to complete this year. Can you mention those briefly, what they are?
We have much of the renovation of Hart Park yet to go, particularly the Adobe house there and some improvements along the Kern River corridor. That's involved. Probably the number one thing that that has occupied my time for the last several years has been responding to COVID, and it is just a full-time effort to try to keep our hospital capacity available, and that means saving lives, while at the same time trying to keep our economy open. So that is an ongoing effort. Omicron is causing, as we all know, a surge, and keeping the hospital capacity available so that anyone who is unfortunate enough to become really ill has a place to go. That's the biggest challenge of the day. So we also have an ongoing fight with the governor, his onslaught against oil and the thousands of jobs that locally go with it, with virtually no plan of how we're supposed to let all these thousands of people land in the event that he does, completely shut down oil. So that's a huge effort that we're still trying to work on.
Where do you see District 3 moving at this point? You've been challenged many times during your career on the Board of Supervisors, people wanting to come in and make changes. We saw some redistricting as well in that area. Where do you see the district moving?
You know, redistricting actually is one of the big issues that needed to be resolved before I made a final decision about whether or not I would run. There's always a chance that the district could be completely changed, and look what happened with Supervisor Couch a couple of years ago. He found himself representing communities he'd never been in before. Had that not gone effectively, I might very well have needed to run again to make sure that the right influence was maintained. We have a very pro-business, pro-job. What pro-business means is pro-job board right now. And if that were to tip the other way, that could be devastating for our local economy. So but the lines have been drawn. They're cast now. I think it's going to be a fair environment in which that can happen. When I ran for the Board of Supervisors the first time, there were 5 or 6 of us in the race, and it was a very, very full field of candidates. There will be, I think, 1 or certainly more than one, but two or more candidates, I think, will likely end up, putting their hat in the ring. That typically happens. I was blessed to win in the first election with 62%. I recollect my wife had told me that's what the margin would be, and it was. There'll be some heated contest like that, I'm sure, before it's over.
Is there anyone in particular you'd like to see run for your seat?
I hear of a couple of people in the community. Certainly, Jeff Flores appears to be interested and is exploring his options. Jeff's a wonderful guy and has worked tirelessly for many years trying to help me make the 3rd District a better place and all of Kern County a better place. But others will throw their hat in the ring as well. This is not a job for the timid, but it is a job that requires in order to get it, you have to have a strategy and a plan. And I'm sure that people will announce their intentions as time goes by, and they'll do that, in their own time. And then when we see how all that's stacked up, I'll probably weigh in as to who I think is the best.
All right, you mentioned at the start of this that you had been talking to your wife and that you've been discussing this, and as early as yesterday morning, you were still sort of on the fence. Any chance you might rescind your decision and run again?
I don't think so. Once you make a decision, you pull the trigger, you move forward, and that's if there's anything that this job and these 30 years, man, I can't believe it's been 30 years, but since I first ran for the school board by the end of this term, that'll be 30 years ago. Making decisions is a very freeing experience. Once you make a decision, you move forward. I've done that many, many, many times, and I'm comfortable. What is ahead is exciting, and there's always new opportunities and new horizons and goals to pursue. So I'm very comfortable with this.
All right, very good. We will talk more with you about the future down the road. Mike Maggard, District 3 Supervisor. Thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, Mike. Take care. You're one of the good ones, buddy. I appreciate what you do for our community.
Thank you, Mike.